You've felt it before, that gut-twisting doubt that creeps in when her phone lights up at midnight and she flips it face down. She says it's just a friend. But your instincts, they whisper something different. You try to shake it off, tell yourself you're just overthinking, that you are the problem, but deep down you know something doesn't add up. This is how betrayal begins, not with another man, but with a pattern. And the truth is, some women were never built for loyalty. Psychologists call it the thrill seeker's paradox. People who crave excitement eventually get bored of stability. And men, we become their latest phase until the rush fades. Then they're gone. Today, I'm going to reveal the 8 types of women most likely to cheat and how to spot them before they destroy your peace, your trust, and your future. Because cheating doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts long before. It starts with patterns of behavior that most men ignore until it's too late. So ask yourself, how many of these red flags have you already seen and brushed aside? Red flag 1. The wild child. She's exciting, unpredictable, the kind of woman who lives for chaos. When you meet her, it feels like you've stepped into a movie. Spontaneous trips, late-night adventures, laughter that makes you forget everything else. But behind that thrill lies something darker, a craving for constant stimulation. She breaks rules because it makes her feel alive, and eventually that means breaking yours too. Studies in behavioral psychology show that impulsivity, the constant need for novelty, directly correlates with infidelity. In simple terms, the more she chases excitement, the less she respects boundaries. She'll say, "I hate boring men." Translation, "I can't handle stability." And that's the danger, because once the relationship stops giving her that dopamine rush, she'll find it somewhere else. Maybe it starts with innocent flirting. Maybe she keeps in touch with her ex because they're still friends. But what she's really doing is keeping her options open. You'll notice it in small things. She loves chaos. Drama follows her everywhere. One week she's your dream girl. The next she's cold and distant, already chasing the next high. And when you call her out, she'll twist it back on you. You're controlling. You're insecure. But what she's really saying is, you're starting to see through the act. This woman doesn't cheat because she hates you. She cheats because routine feels like death to her, and no amount of love will ever fix that. If she thrives on rebellion, lives for the rush and can't sit still, she doesn't want a man, she wants a ride. And when the thrill ends, so will her loyalty. She walks into a room and everyone feels it, that quiet arrogance, that power in her stride. Men orbit her, and she loves it. This is the dominator, the alpha female who lives for control. At first, she'll seduce you with confidence. She'll tell you she doesn't need a man, but secretly, she needs to conquer one. You see, this kind of woman doesn't chase love. She chases submission. And if you let her lead, if you bend to her charm and lose your frame, she'll lose all respect for you. Because the truth is, the dominator's attraction is rooted in power dynamics. The moment you give her power, she stops desiring you. The moment you stand your ground, she starts testing you. Every argument becomes a battlefield. Every silence, a power play. She'll withhold affection to manipulate you. She'll flirt with others just to see if you react. And when you do, she'll say, "You're overreacting." But it's not by accident. It's psychological warfare designed to keep her feeling superior. According to studies on narcissistic personality traits, people with dominant tendencies often equate attention with validation. They don't cheat because they're unhappy. They cheat because they need to prove they can. To them, infidelity isn't betrayal. It's confirmation of power. She might say, "I would never cheat." But the real question is, could she resist the temptation of a man who challenges her authority? Most can't. When the alpha woman cheats, it's rarely emotional. It's strategic, a test. She wants to know if she still has it. And when she returns to you, she won't feel guilty. She'll feel validated. You'll notice she thrives on control. She dictates what you wear. She mocks your opinions. She competes with you instead of supporting you. And the moment she feels she's won, she'll lose interest. A woman who constantly needs to dominate cannot love as an equal. Because in her mind, love is power, and power must be held, not shared. Here's the hard truth. You can't outlove this woman. You can't outplease her. You can only out-discipline her. The more you try to win her approval, the faster you lose her attraction. If she plays games, detach. If she tests you, stay calm. If she tries to control you, walk away. Because the moment you trade your authority for her attention, you've already lost both. And when she finds a man she can't control, that's the one she'll cheat with. She tells you she's changed. She says she's not that person anymore. And you want to believe her, because men want to believe in redemption. But here's the cold reality. If she's cheated before, she's already crossed a line most people never even approach. And once that line is crossed, the guilt fades faster every time. Psychologists call it moral desensitization. The more you justify bad behavior, the easier it becomes to repeat it. A liar lies again. A thief steals again. And a cheater? She just gets better at hiding it. She'll frame her past as a mistake. But look closely at how she talks about it. Does she take responsibility? Or does she blame circumstance? Does she say, I was young, I wasn't happy, he didn't treat me right? If every sentence begins with a justification, what she's really saying is, I'll do it again when I feel like it. And if she grew up seeing infidelity, if her mother cheated or her father stepped out, that behavior becomes normalized. Studies show that people raised in homes where betrayal was tolerated are twice as likely to repeat it themselves. Why? Because they never saw faithfulness as sacred. They saw it as optional. You'll notice something about these women. They know how to fake remorse. They'll cry. They'll beg. They'll promise they've learned their lesson. But what they've really learned is how to manipulate your forgiveness. The repeater doesn't cheat because she's missing something. She cheats because she's addicted to the power of getting away with it. It's not about love or lust. It's about control, the thrill of deception, the adrenaline of secrecy, the rush of playing innocent while hiding the knife behind her back. And when you forgive her, you don't heal her, you enable her. You teach her that you're the kind of man who tolerates betrayal. That's why the men who take cheaters back almost always get betrayed again. Not because they're bad men, but because they gave mercy to someone who sees mercy as weakness. Never forget, people don't cheat by accident. They cheat because, in that moment, they decided their pleasure mattered more than your pain. And that decision reveals everything about their character. If she's done it once, she's shown you who she is. And when someone shows you their moral ceiling, believe it, because a woman who betrayed another man's trust will eventually test yours. And when she does, she won't feel shame. She'll feel familiarity. So stop trying to build loyalty from a blueprint of betrayal. You can't build faith on fractured ground. She's always busy, her phone's always on silent, and somehow she's always somewhere else. You start to notice the little things. She steps outside to take calls. She laughs at messages but never tells you why. Her social media is curated. You're in some posts, but never the ones that matter. This is the double life woman. And brother, she's the most dangerous kind of all. Because she doesn't cheat in chaos, she cheats with precision. Every text deleted, every story timed, every lie rehearsed until it sounds like truth. She's not impulsive, she's strategic, and that's what makes her lethal. Modern psychology calls it compartmentalization. the ability to split your life into separate boxes, each sealed off from the others. She has one box for you, one for her friends, one for the man she swears is just a colleague, and each world never touches. When she's with you, she's affectionate, attentive, even loving. But when she leaves, she disappears into a shadow you'll never catch. You see, this kind of woman has mastered the art of illusion. She's not looking for emotional connection, she's chasing ego validation. Every secret message, every girl's night that goes unaccounted for, every late-night work meeting, it's all part of the game, a double life crafted to feed her sense of power. And if you confront her, she'll turn it on you. You're paranoid. You don't trust me. She'll guilt-trip you until you apologize for your own instincts. But your instincts were right. Women like this live in dual realities. To the world, she's loyal. To herself, she's free. And to you, she's whoever she needs to be to keep the lie alive. According to relationship research, people who maintain emotional secrecy, hiding friendships, passwords, or private communications have the highest correlation with future infidelity. Why? Because secrecy isn't protection, it's preparation. When she keeps her phone locked like Fort Knox, when she refuses to introduce you to her friends or family, when her life feels like a puzzle with missing pieces, that's not mystery, that's manipulation. And the worst part, the double-life woman doesn't always cheat for passion. Sometimes she cheats for validation, the sick thrill of knowing she's desired by two men at once. One gives her safety, the other gives her excitement, and together they make her feel complete. But she'll never tell you that, because honesty would ruin the performance. So when you feel like you're living with a stranger who knows exactly how to play the part of a perfect girlfriend, understand this: you're not in love with her, you're in love with her character. And when the mask finally slips, when you catch a glimpse of who she really is, it won't just break your heart, it'll shatter your perception of trust itself. Because betrayal hurts most when it comes from someone who made pretending an art form. She tells you she wants something real, but the moment things start feeling real, she pulls away. Texts slow down, energy fades, excuses multiply. And suddenly you're left wondering what changed. Nothing changed. She just got what she wanted, the chase. Because the commitment phobe doesn't fall in love with you. She falls in love with the attention you give her. In the beginning, she's magnetic, curious, passionate, affectionate. She mirrors your energy perfectly. She'll talk for hours about deep connections and real love. But what she's really doing is feeding off the dopamine of potential. Once she knows she has you, the thrill evaporates. Psychologists call this the avoidant attachment style. These women crave closeness, but the moment they get it, they feel trapped, suffocated by the very affection they demanded. They interpret intimacy as control, and your emotional consistency, it bores them. So what happens? They sabotage it. They pick fights. They question whether you're really compatible. They need to create emotional distance, because in their world, love equals vulnerability, and vulnerability equals weakness. And when that distance grows, they start seeking excitement elsewhere. Not because they're missing something in you, but because they're terrified of facing something in themselves. The commitment phobe is addicted to new beginnings. Every fresh face is a reset button, a chance to feel alive without responsibility. That's why she can flirt with other men while claiming to love you. Because to her, attraction and commitment live in different worlds. You'll see the signs early if you're paying attention. She says she's not ready for anything serious, even after months together. She keeps her dating apps just to talk. She avoids planning anything beyond next week. And the moment you express deeper feelings, she disappears. She doesn't break up with you. She fades away, like a ghost with perfect timing. Because ending things directly would mean taking responsibility, something she spent her whole life avoiding. Evolutionary psychology even supports this pattern. People who value novelty over stability tend to avoid long-term pair bonds. In simple terms, she's wired to chase, not to keep. Here's the brutal truth most men don't want to hear. You can't fix a woman who's addicted to running. You can't love her into staying. And every time you try to prove your worth, you're only feeding her ego, not her heart. The commitment phobe doesn't need therapy. She needs consequences. She needs a man strong enough to walk away when she plays the "I'm just confused" card. Because she'll say she doesn't want a relationship until she meets a man who doesn't want her. Then suddenly she's ready. But by then it's too late, because what she truly fears isn't commitment. It's losing control. There's a special kind of pain that hits when you realize she never loved you. She used you, not for your money, not for your looks, but for validation. Meet the manipulator. She's the actress of modern dating, beautiful, composed, and emotionally calculated. She studies your strengths, mirrors your desires, and feeds you the illusion of connection until she gets what she wants. She doesn't argue, she performs. Every tear, every silence, every apology is a move in her game, and she knows exactly how to play the part of the hurt woman when she's the one holding the knife. You'll see it when she lies effortlessly, when stories change depending on who's listening, when she tells you you're crazy for noticing the inconsistencies. This is gaslighting, the psychological art of erasing your own intuition. The manipulator's ultimate weapon isn't sex, it's sympathy. She'll make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, ashamed for having standards, and responsible for her emotions. And once she drains you, she'll vanish, leaving you questioning your sanity. But she won't stay gone, because manipulators always return when they sense you've recovered. Not because they love you, but because they hate losing control of you. Remember this: a manipulative woman doesn't crave affection. She craves worship, and once you stop kneeling, she stops pretending. Now, let's talk about the last type, the one most men never recognize until it's too late: the avoider. She never yells, never fights, never cries. She just shuts down. When problems arise, she disappears. When you express needs, she changes the subject. When you ask questions, she diverts with charm or humor. You think she's calm, but she's just detached. The avoider isn't faithful out of loyalty. She's faithful out of indifference. She doesn't cheat with passion. She cheats out of emotional neglect, because in her mind, distance equals safety. She hides behind politeness, behind "I just need space." But that space, it's where she lives a second life. She's mastered the art of half connection, just enough to keep you invested, never enough to be vulnerable. Psychologically, this comes from avoidant attachment, people who associate closeness with danger. They crave love, but flee the moment it gets real. And that's why the avoider can sit across from you at dinner, smiling, while secretly texting another man under the table. She doesn't feel guilty. She feels relieved. Now here's the truth every man needs to hear. You can't save women like these. You can't teach loyalty to someone who sees commitment as a cage. You can't build love with someone who views your trust as leverage. Because modern dating has become a battlefield, not of men versus women, but of truth versus illusion. And most men are losing because they refuse to see what's right in front of them. You want to know why betrayal hurts so much? Because it's not just about losing her. It's about losing the version of yourself that believed in her. But here's where you rise. When you start recognizing these red flags, when you stop chasing chaos, when you stop confusing beauty with character, when you stop mistaking attention for love, you reclaim your power. The strongest man is not the one who can tolerate the wrong woman. It's the one who can walk away from her. So ask yourself, how many of these types have you already met? How many warnings did you ignore? And how many more lessons do you need before you finally say, enough? Because every man eventually faces this choice. stay blind and get betrayed, or open your eyes and evolve. The question is, which kind of man are you? If this message hit home, if it spoke truth into your life, like this video, share it with a brother who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel. Support the mission using the link in the description below. See you in the next one.